Law of attraction. Now, this is a phrase we might have come across quite often over the past few years. We might also have come across terms such as self-programming, manifestation, positive thinking, etc. Now, what is this law of attraction? How powerful it is? And is it something good that we can make use of? If so, how do we make use of it? How do we practice it? Let's break it in detail.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta...
Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is Santhosh Rupert. If you haven't subscribed me yet, this is the time for you to do it, because in this new series of videos, we are going to break down law of attraction in detail, and we're going to learn it step by step, and also we're going to learn how do we practice law of attraction. So let's go into detail. Law of attraction is a concept which says, based on our positive thinking or our negative thinking, the consequences might be either positive or negative respectively in our life. If we say it in short, we get what we attract, or we attract what we think. So more or less, our life will revolve around our mindset. If our mindset is positive, more or less our life will be positive. And similarly, if our mindset over a long period of time remains negative, we might also face negative consequences in our life. The concept is based on the fact that our thoughts as well as ourselves both are nothing but forms of energy. I repeat it, both our physical self as well as our thoughts both are different forms of energy. By means of using this energy, or rather by attractive energy, we can change how our life moves on, be it our health, our wealth, our lifestyle. Each and everything can be changed or can be directed using such attraction. Let us make it more simple. Now, generally we consider ourselves as a physical body. We have a mass, we can feel, we have three dimensions. But in reality, if we break ourselves into the basic forms, into the cells, and if we go even further down up to the levels of atoms and even the subatomic levels, we are nothing but energy. Now, if you go into the subatomic levels, you will understand something called orbitals, which we will talk in detail later on. But as of now, try to understand the fact that our body is nothing but a form of energy. Similarly, our thoughts are too nothing but electromagnetic radiations that we emit. The most important part of ourselves, apart from our body, is our spirit. It is the spirit that guides us, provides us with identity, and in turn decides who we are. Now you might ask, if we are all about spirit, then why do we even need a body? The body is which can give responses to different senses. Your spirit cannot see a beautiful sunshine, or a spirit cannot taste something sweet or sour or something spicy. So the body is there as it is necessary for you to feel, receive senses, to act as a sensory receptor. Whereas it is the spirit which sits on the driver's seat and guides you each and every moment. Now let's move on to our thinking pattern, be it positive or negative. Our emotions are nothing but different types of chemicals released from our brain. Now our emotions can be depending upon a lot of factors such as our relationships, even it can be the weather, or many different factors can influence our emotions. But basically, there are four neurotransmitters that in turn decide our emotions. These are serotonin, adrenaline, oxytocin, and dopamine. So what is the relationship between these chemicals, our brain, emotions, and etc.? Our brain releases these four chemicals into the other parts of brain as well as into our body, by which these four chemicals collectively as neurotransmitters may tend to control other downstream actions that may take place in our body. So once we develop a habit where we can sustain a different level of thinking, be it positive or even when we are into a negative mindset for a longer period of time, we also inculcate such habit. So when we develop such a habit over a long period of time, we tend to control how these neurotransmitters are released into our body, which in turn enables us to control the physiological reactions that happens in our body. So by way of thinking or by way of sustaining a certain level of mindset over a longer period of time, we can ensure that we are in control of our physiology as well. Now, one of the great examples how our mind can control our body is the placebo effect, which is very much used in clinical trials where a non-active compound is prescribed as a control. Now, the patient who is undergoing this clinical trial will not have an idea whether he is being prescribed with or he is being given a non-active compound. But there are sufficient evidence to suggest that even at such cases, there have been proper curing had taken place due to what we call as the placebo effect, because it is the belief that the patient had that he has been given the right type of a drug had cured him. Similarly, if we take more than 90% of the diseases that we face, those are not inherited disorders. Most of these diseases are things that we acquire during our lifetime, mainly due to lifestyle changes. Now, when we talk about lifestyle, it is not only about our physical exercises or the food that we intake, but also, most importantly, our mindset. The primary factor in terms of lifestyle which can impact our body is our state of mind, because our mind is something that's constantly working, whereas our other intakes such as food, water and etc. we only take a couple of times or few times a day, whereas the things that we put into our mind, that is something constant. The only break that we give is during our sleep. So we constantly and continuously intake things through our mind into our body. So it is essential that we keep our mind pure, we keep our mind in control. Being under a prolonged period of stress or any other negative mindset can definitely impact your body, and this is also has very well been documented. On the other hand, we have this general belief that we are controlled by our genes, which is not false or which is not incorrect. But we need to understand the fact called epigenetics. Now, there are numerous examples of studies done on twins who have been brought up at different locations to prove that it is not that the genes that we inherit, but then how these genes are controlled and how they are expressed due to environmental factors in turn results in how our physiology works. Generally, a gene expression depends on its genotype as well as environment factors. It is the genotype that we inherit, but the environmental factors are totally depending upon how we have been brought up or the environment that we grow in, which is in turn how our lifestyle is. So again, our epigenetics itself is controlled by our way of thinking to a great extent. So by controlling our way of thinking, be it in a positive manner or be it in a negative manner, we are in a position not only to control our day-to-day physiology, but also our epigenetics, how our genes are expressed. Now let us move on to our thoughts. Our thoughts are not only transmitted into our body as by means of mindset, but also we emit thoughts externally. Historically, we all been practicing some sort of a belief or religion where we send across prayers externally. Now these prayers are nothing but constant and consistent thoughts, which when we repeat it over a longer period of time, we get them in return as our prayers being answered or prayers being fulfilled. Now this is a very scientific process where we emit electromagnetic radiations outside to our body. Now one might ask, I don't see these electromagnetic radiations. You can only visualize the electromagnetic radiations that is within the visual range. Anything that is beyond cannot be seen by our eyes. So when we emit these electromagnetic radiations outside of our body, it is getting emitted to the universe as enlarged. And when it resonates with the frequency of the universe, we sync with the universe. Our mindset syncs with that of the universe. Now you might ask, what is resonance? Or how do we resonate? Now in physics, resonance is a phenomenon where a vibrating system drives the oscillation of another vibrating system when they meet with the same ideal frequency. Now have you experienced or seen your walls or even your furniture vibrate when you play music? Now that's resonance. Now when such resonance is met with consistently, when we emit vibrations at a certain level, now I am talking about a positive mindset. When we keep our minds positive over a prolonged period of time, and when we keep on emitting such vibrations within our bodies as well as outside of our body, what happens is the chances of it getting synchronized, resonating with that of the universe is high. And when such resonance happens, we manifest what we have thought of. In turn, we have made it happen what we have dreamed of. Now, this is the basis of law of attraction as well as how manifestation works. Now, in the coming videos of this series, we will look in detail, in depth, how each step in this manifestation or how this law of attraction exactly works and how can we practice it for different purposes. Until then, just put in your thoughts in the comments, whether you have understood the concept, whether there is something that you need to add on. At the same time, don't forget to share this video with your friends, and of course, you got to subscribe to this channel. Then only you're going to get the following videos when they are uploaded. So see you once again with the next video of Law of Attraction. Until then, it's Santhosh Rupert signing off. Cheers.